Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. Friday the 2nd of October and I'm heading home, hooray! And it looks like it's been lovely out today again here. Not that I've seen any of it because I've been stuck inside, but nice blue sky still at the moment. And it's been funny weather-wise, I suppose. Really, we're getting into autumn, so you should expect it. But it's been very foggy on the mornings. Most mornings have been really foggy. This morning was quite. It was different. It was lovely and sunny as far as Queensbury, and then you could see over into Halifax Valley. And I think I did a video previously when it does that. All the cloud was actually sat in the sort of lower part, so as I headed down to Halifax I could see all the cloud in the valley over Halifax, and sure enough when we got into the town itself here it was misty as anything, all that low cloud hanging. So but yes, other than that, yeah, it's been a nice, the afternoons and the evenings seem to be nice and sunny. Although it's getting terribly dark, terribly early now, of course. No doubt due for the clocks to mess about as usual. So what's been happening this week? Good news. Not often I get any good news, so here is some really good news for me. Probably doesn't bother anyone else, but it bothered me a lot. The iPhone 6S and 6S Plus models are a pretty much bang on exact match for the 6 and 6 Plus as far as iCarbon skins go. Now that of course bothers me quite a lot because I've got a massive stock. I'm still invested in a lot of stock so I can do quick delivery for people of the 6 and 6 Plus skins, because of course iCarbons don't just do solid backs. They do two-tone backs. In fact, you can now do the stripe backs as well, which are even more complicated. But they've got all the two tones. So, of course, the stock level I have to hold of all the variations of two tones, that's middle backs and accents, left, right and centre, is a large amount of stock. And that's, of course, in both the 6 and 6 Plus size. And then that's with the Apple logo exposed and also the Apple logo covered up, because people randomly choose whether they want the Apple logo shown or not shown or whatever else. So yes, loads of stock, and if I'd had to repeat all that over again that would have been just a pain really. So yes, the word is from iCarbons, because I've not been able to check myself, having not gone for the upgrade at all, and I've only had one. I wouldn't have had both devices anyway, so but yes, word for it is from iCarbons that there's very little difference in the two. They will of course be doing dedicated skins for the 6S and 6S Plus, but for all intents and purposes you're not going to be able to tell the difference when you're fitting the skin between the 6 and the 6S versions. So good news for me. I was pleased with that. Other things that have been happening this week, of course, we have finally got to the release of El Capitan to the public, obviously OS X 10.11, which I'm already on the next beta version of it, so it wasn't too much of interest to me. I was pleased to find out that iStat menus, which is really something as far as finding out information on your Mac goes, I really like iStat menus. It sits in your status bar and you can just see what's going on as far as temperature, network activity, fans, what's going on with the processor and how hard the processor's working, and then any of those you can sort of hover over them and it'll bring up lots more detailed information as well. It's just everything you need, dead easy. I really liked it. And of course it didn't work in El Capitan, so I've not been using it. And then I got the release update, funny enough, after I just installed the latest beta build of El Capitan. I think we're on 10.11.3 now, or 1 or something, I don't know, I forget. But anyway, and got that there was an updated version for El Capitan Wednesday morning, obviously when the launch day for the public release. So I was really excited about that, and then someone helpfully told me on Twitter, so it said, oh, I finally got the update, at Knights ZE or something, I forget what his Twitter handle is now, yeah, he helpfully said, oh, he'd just run the beta version of iStat menus on the beta El Capitan. I was like, why didn't I think to ask them if they did a beta version? I just hadn't done, you know, I just presumed they couldn't run it, so yes. And then even Bajango, who make it, at Bajango said, oh, we always do a beta version for the beta ones. Right, I'll remember that next year. Next year it'll be, won't it? When we'll get, who knows what version, what the name will be even, of next year's version. So, yes, they are. So El Capitan's released, and everyone upgrade to it, really. It's good, stable, running everything. I think, actually, I've got to admit, I found it's running a lot cooler. Well, running my device is a lot cooler for what I do. Partly maybe day-to-day office work, probably improvements in the Parallels virtual machine software helps that, because it always used to be Parallels that used to ramp up my temperature on the MacBook Pro. So maybe the improvements they've done there in the Parallels software has contributed to the lower temperatures. But even on the MacBook Air on a night when I'm just running general bits and pieces, that's pretty good. Doesn't seem to get too hot, and runs pretty well. Obviously exporting videos with Final Cut's going well with it now as well, finally. So yeah, all good on that front. What else has been happening for me this week? Busy week at work. Busy week at work. It's always a busy week at work, isn't it? Busy week at work again. Another shipment of iCarbons came in on Wednesday from America. And yes, that's right. I hear you saying it's not that long since you last had a shipment in. You're right, it isn't, and that's another one come in. I'm getting pretty regular on about 2 to 3 weeks deliveries at the moment. Do seem to be clearing a lot of stock. Got a lot of stock. People keep ordering the same stuff. That's the problem. So I do still have a good stock holding, and everyone, you know, if you order not the same things, then you'll get it really quick. But otherwise I need to order stuff in because people keep ordering odd stuff, and that makes life complicated. So, but I mean, it's good. It also means I'm through putting a lot of their the iCarbon skins still, so they're all going out left, right and centre, and I keep getting more in, send more out. Keeps everyone happy. Amazon asked me to do a Black Friday deal. I mean, Black Friday is a bit of an American thing. I don't know quite how we've inherited it so much, but yes, Amazon sort of wanted me to do a Black Friday deal, and I got a bit of an insight more into how stuff works at Amazon, which I've not done before. Not entirely sure. Well, I'm not going to take part in the Black Friday deal thing, because I didn't really think I was going to shift the volume I'd need to on doing that. And there was such a huge list of requirements, one of which you've got to have at least 200 units to be fulfilled by Amazon, and to be FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, you send your product to one of their distribution hubs, so they hold the product, and then not only do they take the seller fee off you, which is quite large on its own, they also then take a fulfilled by Amazon fee for fulfilling it for you, which is a bit like their shipping fee, of course. But if you're fulfilled by Amazon, then you are eligible for Prime for everyone. So that means you become, or your product becomes, a lot more inviting to Prime people because they can get free Prime next day delivery. Obviously Amazon doing all that bit of it. But yeah, I wasn't really keen on sort of shipping 200 units of whatever I got listed to Amazon so they could do the fulfillment of it. You'd actually have to do 200 units for fulfillment by Amazon, but that was a requirement that the holding stock was that amount to do the Black Friday deal. So, and then just this afternoon, in fact, why I'm leaving late again, I was just dealing with, we sold some books, 3 books by an American author. He was a champion barista coffee maker, and he's also done some books. We do 3 of them through Amazon for the UK and into Europe. Coffee Roaster's Companion, book on roasting coffee. Professional Barista's Handbook, so that's for coffee shop cappuccino and cafe latte makers. And then Everything But Espresso, which is all about brewing coffee in other ways than espresso, so doing drip and filter and that sort of thing. So we do 3 of his books, and we get through a fair amount, to be honest. I mean, we're probably shifting of the region between 30 and 60 every couple of weeks, so it's a fair movement of books. But it said, would we list on other Amazon marketplaces in Europe, because they'd had people contact him saying they couldn't find them. And my response was, well, we already do, because I've opened it up to all of Europe and we already ship out to many places. We've done Poland, Sweden, and Switzerland, and all over Europe, really. They keep going out. I think I sent one to Estonia the other week. But he said, like, he'd had some people in Germany, but they only look on the DE Amazon marketplace, and of course my UK listing won't pop up there, so they're going to he said, you know, would you list on the German marketplace, so they didn't have to figure it out, you know, they didn't have to manually go to the UK site and hunt on there, it was automatically on the DE site. So I was trying to figure out how the chuff I did that, and it's not immediately obvious. In the product listing I could add it into France and Spain's marketplaces. Well, I mean, did that, you can just add your price in euros on there. But for the German one and another one, I forget what that was in, certainly for the German one, so DE, it wouldn't let me add an offer in there because it said it didn't exist on the DE marketplace. So I'd need to create my offer on the marketplace. So what a faff. So then I faffed about trying to create a product on there, but all that happened was it kept telling me that I was, it kept bouncing me back to the UK even though I'd logged into Amazon.de. Then I eventually created a listing, but I wasn't very sure it had actually done what I wanted it to do. And then finally I had another go and I discovered, if I looked the books up on DE, they were all on there, but there was some obscure listings with ludicrous pricing, which some people seem to do on Amazon. There's put like hundreds of pounds for something that should only be like 20 quid on there. I don't know why they bother. Or maybe people do actually pay a ridiculous amount. So anyway, I found the listings and then sort of puzzled through and then picked a button that looked like it might be helpful too, because it's all in German and I'm not really that fluent in German, not at all fluent in German. So picked the button and it turned out to be add your own offer for the product, which is what I wanted to do. So I did that and I managed to add my own offer for those products on the German marketplace. So that's hopefully worked now. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to go through and do some other bits and pieces, but other than that, it's oh, I think he's going to be getting in my way now. So you stop in there now. That's probably good for in a way. What was I saying? I've lost train of thought completely and totally now. So yeah, I managed to list them, which worked quite well. I was quite pleased about that. And hopefully keep Scott happy and maybe sell some more books. That'll be good for me as well. Let's see what happens. Other than that, not really a great deal been going on, because I'm just working lots. Managed to catch San Andreas. Most of the film. It's not that great, to be honest. I wouldn't actually bother unless you've got pretty much nothing else that you want to do of an evening. Did I watch anything else? I haven't really watched anything else, I don't think. There's a few about, but I've not really got round to watching them. So, alright, that's it, I'm back home. So, thanks for watching, and have a good weekend, and I'll catch you next week.